Bad news for The Witcher 4, because CD Projekt Red will not ask Mr. Sapkowski, the creator of The Witcher, for more advice. Let's dive into the details. Stay tuned for that. What's up, guys? I'm Franky Boy on this channel, covering everything regarding The Witcher, and I founded this channel on The Witcher 3, so of course I'm gonna dive into The Witcher 4 as well. And we just got this news. The Witcher author, which is Mr. Sapkowski, has an excellent deal with The Witcher 4 devs, and that is great for him. I mean, so much money for such a beautiful brand. I think it's definitely worth it for him, but it's rare for CD Projekt to ask him for advice anymore. So that might be a bummer, because of course Mr. Sapkowski is the brain behind The Witcher, and we just learned that Mr. Sapkowski himself did not want them to create such an amazing amount of schools, of Witcher schools, but wanted, just to have Witchers in general, and he said that does not make too much sense. Well, let's dive into that article published on Games Radar here. When Sapkowski was at a book event, Games Radar asked him about, how is it going on with the development of The Witcher 4? What's going on right there? And he said that he had not contributed to the game, and he just recently stated, one facet of the RPG series here is narratively incorrect, and of course it's about the schools. What he mentioned, the Witcher schools are not meant to be like that by him. Not contributing to the game, that's a lot in my opinion, because he is the founder of The Witcher 3. He invented Geralt of Rivia as a character, and he likely knows best how he's gonna react to certain things, or how maybe Ciri would react to certain things. I can totally imagine as well that he's stating, why would you let Ciri be a Witcher? She can't. Screw this. And I totally get that problem, and I don't know really what to think about, because I think with The Witcher 3, CDPR did a lot of great things, and I love the schools as a form of gameplay element, and maybe a bit as a narrative element, and I think they did pretty damn well telling the Witcher stories in their interpretation of the franchise. Now Sapkowski is of course stating the contracts between me and the game people are excellent right now, and back then he was like getting a few bucks, if I remember correctly, for the Witcher rights, because he was not expecting it to blow up. He was not expecting it to be such a hit, but then really, you gotta say, CD Projekt made this a hit with the video game, especially Witcher 3. This made the Witcher series so popular, and this is the reason for the success. So, you gotta look on both sides of the Wolf School medallion. Because one, of course, he is the inventor, but CDPR made it popular. CDPR made the formula that made it popular with their interpretation, with the schools, etc. That's all in there and part of the success story of The Witcher 3. So in my opinion, they did pretty damn well. And he is of course getting a lot of money out of Witcher 4 as well. And I think he has more money than he can spend in his whole life. And looking back at the lawsuit, Sapkowski was of course seeking more payment because it made far more money than anybody expected, and he then got 16 million bucks, and I think it's pretty hard to spend that in your life, if you don't buy 5 villas and 10 boats. By the way, interesting that people are stating, we are not looking forward to seeing Liam Hemsworth as Geralt of Rivia in Season 4. I'm curious about your thoughts so far. I'm not blown away by that Witcher Season 4, to be honest with you, but I only watched, I think, the first 4 episodes so far, so I can't state it in total at this point. Sapkowski says that he was having or used to have a slightly closer working relationship with CDPR in the earlier days and the earlier games, of course, at the seasons, and they occasionally asked him for advice and more info about the world. Now it's super rare to ask him for details, and I mean with all the books that he published, with all the interpretations that are out there with Netflix, as well as of course their own interpretation in the game that is the most successful piece of content about The Witcher. They are pretty much in a position where they likely know what The Witcher is and how it works. Now, Games Radar is stating right here, maybe or perhaps it's the result of the studio's increased confidence in a series it's now made several games around over the course of many years, or the fact that much of those games is CDPR's own creation. Yeah, that's what I said. Given the ending of his book series, Sapkowski said it would be impossible to write a sequel story, but the games are certainly set after the events of the final book. Just what I stated. I mean, CDPR, they are kind of the creator of the new narrative of the Geralt of Rivia. I would say not OG, but awesome, most awesome piece of content and story. So I think they don't really need him. But you gotta see it from both sides. He's the creator and he likely knows what his thoughts would be on that new story, and I think, yeah, he would be very critical. And I mean, Henry left the set of Netflix of The Witcher for that reason, because they did not stick to Sapkowski. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's interesting as well if Netflix and CDPR kind of turn away from Sapkowski. Maybe, yeah, we can just guess what's happening there. In my opinion, I'm still, of course, looking forward to The Witcher 4, and I don't think that Sapkowski must be somehow implemented into that process, because, yeah, they know how to craft that story. They know Geralt of Rivia. Some of the talents at CDPR have been working on Witcher games for like 10 plus years of their life, even longer, so they likely know how this works. And in my opinion, it is super awesome to also have some fresh minds on that project, some new people coming to CDPR, bringing some innovation, because of course you can't put out The Witcher 3 plus, you have to put out a Witcher 4, which is of course risking some things. But I think at this point we know it's gonna be an open world game. It's gonna be Ciri, who we already know and like. Maybe even some of you love her. It's gonna have some awesome gameplay, some crazy narrative, maybe with some decision making, and of course state-of-the-art graphics. If you play on PC, you're likely gonna have like the most awesome graphics for all the NVIDIA presentations available when the new tech is there. So that's also very awesome. In my opinion, The Witcher 4 is gonna be awesome anyways, but a few of you guys out there are likely gonna be a little bit maybe disappointed with that decision. But of course they could call him and ask him for advice. But I think, yeah, if they don't need him, why would they do it? It doesn't make sense. Too many cooks, they verderben the Brei, as we say here in Germany. Hopefully you will cook your Witcher gameplay in The Witcher 3 and Witcher 4 in the near future. Maybe check out this playlist that I created about The Witcher 3 with some awesome tutorials and tips and tricks, or this video over here that is, yeah, just about The Witcher 4 in general, and it's the latest news that you maybe missed. Stay tuned for upcoming content with subscription, and thank you so much for tuning in. I will speak to you in the next video, and goodbye.